we offer in our retreats is the use of the tarot. The tarot I've found to be one of the most helpful ways of obtaining answers to tricky questions, things that perhaps have bothered us for some time. And this is a typical tarot deck, and I'm going to show you one of the simplest things to do, which is do a 3-card spread, past, present and future. So the client shuffles the cards, then what I would do is to spread the cards out for the person, and they then select 3 cards. And the first card they would select would represent the past situation, the second card the present, and the third card would be the future situation. And we turn each card over and see what it has to say. So for example, as this is my reading, the past situation that's most significant for me to be aware of is a love in my life. I've picked up the 2 of Cups, the love card. My present situation is actually shown through as the Prince of Discs, and this is very much a description of where I'm at with regard to what it is I'm offering everyone, which is steady, patient approach, getting things done, doing what needs to be done to make things happen. And then my future card I've got is the Dominion card, the 2 of Wands, which indicates that everything that I'm doing is leading me to the situation where I'm going to be competent and capable and in command of what I need to do. So that's an example of a 3-card past, present, future reading. Using that same system we can look at other subjects, we can look at relationships, we can look at all sorts of interesting things, especially the family constellation, that's a good one. Having spent years working with the tarot cards and having been interested in astrology since I was 18, I eventually was given the Astro Tarot, and this is the tool that I have out here for you. So what I do is I lay the cards out to represent the wheel of the zodiac, starting on the left hand side with Aries, which in the tarot is represented by the Emperor, moving forward with Taurus, represented in the tarot by the Hierophant, all the way around to Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, all the way around the wheel of the zodiac. Having got these cards out, the next thing I do is, by using the Ephemeris, which is a book which tells me where all the planets are when the person is born at their moment of birth. So in my own case I happen to have this card, the Sun, in Aries. So what we do is we're able to turn an astrological reading into something which is pictorial, which is graphic, and every single one of these images has got a great deal of information to share, and that's the idea of the Astro Tarot. So we're mixing astrological awareness, which is extremely helpful to understand the person's character and basic situation in their life. But by using the tarot cards we can go into another aspect of it which is particularly helpful. We can identify areas of weakness which need help. We can look at the strengths in a very clear and pictorial, graphic manner. This brings us to the next stage. When I realised it was possible to combine astrology with tarot with the Tree of Life, and this is where my clients started to get the greatest benefit. The Tree of Life, it's an ancient Hebrew esoteric tradition. It's seen in Norse mythology, it's seen in many places actually. And what it is, it's the idea of a map of the universe, a map of what it is to be a human being on this planet, actually expressed pictorially. So what I do is I find out which particular cards are relevant for the person. So for example, in my own case, I'm born with the Sun in Aries, in the middle section of that particular sign. So the card that relates to my birth is actually this one, which is a 3 of Wands, which is virtue. Now that's great, that's a lot of information. I elaborate in great detail about that, but the bit that I'm excited about here is the fact I then get to place this card on the Tree of Life, and this is in the position number 3, which is called Bina, and this relates to all the archetypal female qualities in a human being. And this is one of the 4 ways it can manifest, because with the Astro Tarot we're using the 4 elements: fire, air, water and earth. Now the aces at the top of the tree literally represent spirit, and spirit is seen as being beyond the manifestation in 2 layers, and then as it becomes more towards manifestation, the first way we get to see it is through these cards, the Ace of Wands, which is pure willpower, the Ace of Swords, a pure clear mind, the Ace of Cups, pure unconditional love, and the Ace of Discs, which is the pure determination to create practical results with your abilities. So these represent the spiritual aspect most highly manifested, right down at the bottom, so these are like the top of the branches of the tree, and the very bottom of the tree we've got this one here, and that one there is called the Ten of Discs, and that's the wealth card, and that's one of the 4 elemental forms of the earth. So we've got the heaven in the top of the tree of life, we've got earth in the bottom, and all these different stations on the tree of life refer to different planets. So this one by the number 3 relates to the planet Saturn. This one over here, the number 6, relates to the sun. This one down here, number 9, relates to the moon. This one, number 10, relates to the earth. The other planets have all got their positions. I've just brought a few of the cards out to show you. So when I'm doing a astro tarot reading, by putting the cards for the person out into the tree of life, they get to see where their strengths and weaknesses are in a way which is perhaps more exacting and more precise than any other method I've come across. And in doing a reading, it will sometimes be really clear that a person has got a particular issue or problem with a particular card. And what we do then is we translate the card that's come up through this tarot deck into this different tarot deck, which is actually called the Aura Soma Colour Tarot Deck. And we identify the card that's appropriate for that person to transform the quality. We then lay the card down. We place the glass of pure spring water on the card, and we have a special invitation to charge the water in the glass with the colours on the card. The person gets to drink the water. We have very particular affirmations relating to that card, and that enables the person to transform. An example, supposing a person drew the defeat card for one of their particular planets, then what we would want to do is we want to change the situation there for them into something that would be very helpful. So using this system with the Aura Soma deck, the card that relates to the 5 of Swords, the defeat card, is actually called Lao Tzu and Kuan Yin. And what we do is we, as I explain, charge the water with the colours on the card into the glass. The person drinks the water, and then they get to hear the affirmation. At the same time as they get to hear the affirmation, they then get to see the card, which is these 2 very powerful Chinese deities, and it says, "I am free from all limitations, obstacles and distractions." And it's all about finding the clarity within to be able to communicate from the light. This is a simple example how a person who could be dogged by experience in their life of defeat, constantly manifesting, suddenly being transformed to something so much more helpful for them.